Congratulations to the World Series champs, the Houston Assholes. Astros. But if you want to hear two assholes talk, go to www.NTTFGPOD.com and subscribe. I'm Rock.
And I'm Archie.
Well, our opinions, they might not matter to some, but...
What are you doing in there?
It's a podcast.
Immature, crass, trashy. And those are their good qualities. These poor schmucks are a couple of IQ points away from eating paste. But when it comes to music, sports, and comedy, well, that's all they know. You're listening to
Not These Two Fucking Guys.
Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast.
Your phone looks clearer than your laptop.
Fucking yeah, I got a new phone. Dope.
I'm serious. You look.
I got the 14 Max fucking jacks, fucking cracks.
Wow. If you had some lighting, that's all you need, bro.
Let me get some lighting. You put whiskey in that tea?
No, I've been drinking.
You need a hot toddy. What did the X-ray say?
If my mother says Vicks one more time, if my mother says tea or Vicks one more time,
drink some hot milk, Jason.
So, as you know, I haven't been feeling too well.
No, you sound like a fucking smoke fucking Lucky Strike and Pall Mall all day.
Seriously. So, what I tell you the other day, I'm like, I had a little case of pneumonia last year. I'm going to get an X-ray just to be careful, just to be safe.
Sure.
So I took it upon myself. It was a whole fucking to-do with the doctor, but I went and got an X-ray done. So the X-ray said 2 views. So chest went to the board and the X-ray shot through my back with my arms almost like a chicken wing style.
Okay.
And then the second view was side view with almost like a diver, my arms above my head, fingers interlocked, and I had to stand straight. And with X-rays, they can hold your breath.
Yeah.
I was in there for like a minute and a half.
And okay, they're like, Arch, listen, for the third one, I'm going to need you to tuck your penis. Make a funny face, make a silly face.
The prescription says 2 views, but I think we're going to go for a third. Pull your pants down. I'm actually, I did some work back in the day for this imaging center, cool people, and they sent my results to the doctor right away. So I take a look at the results. Okay. Would you like to hear the results?
Yeah.
Okay. It says, piece of shit. No. All right.
I mean, I don't think you need the X-ray for that. You know that shit. But
so, good news: lungs clear, no pleural abnormality seen. Heart,
penis,
cold.
micro.
Heart, cold but normal. Mediastinum, normal.
I'm sorry, what? Gloria Steinem?
Gloria Steinem?
I know you were a feminist.
Mediastinum. It's a partition between 2 body cavities, especially between the lungs.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Normal. The impression, clear, expanded lungs.
Asshole. Gaping.
No infiltrate consolidation. So I read it quickly and I'm like, oh, dope. Like, I'm fucking sick as shit, but I don't have pneumonia. I don't have bronchitis. I don't know what the fuck I got, but I don't have anything bad. But there was one other thing. Underneath it all says other findings. Do you know what it says?
Oh, God.
That this motherfucker of an X-ray tech wrote? It had to be the X-ray tech. Mild
marijuana deposits in lung.
Mild gynecomastia.
What is that? Isn't that like tits or something like that?
On the streets, they call them bitch tits. For people out there listening, for all 7 of you, gynecomastia is an increase in the amount of breast gland tissue in boys or men caused by an imbalance of hormones, estrogen, and testosterone. Now, I'll bench this fucking guy's car. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, if you do it, throw your tits into it.
But other findings, I don't come out. Like, you're looking at
Look, at this point, this guy was just fucking with you. He's like, you know what? Lugs looks there. You know what? I'm gonna fuck with him. Other findings.
This motherfucker. I want to go back to him and say, other findings. I'm gonna find some other shit about you.
Other findings. Jason is excluded from the itty bitty titty committee.
I couldn't believe it.
Talk about a shot to the old self-esteem, huh?
Bro, kick a boy when he's down.
Shit. Thank God this X-ray is waist up.
Oh, fuck. Could you imagine? Other findings. No manhood. Other findings. Mushroom cap.
Oh my God. Only you, dude. Only you that would fucking happen to.
Other findings. Shooting pool with a rope.
Come on, you got one more.
Motherfucker. So not only do I feel like shit, but now I feel like shit.
The old fucking self-esteem.
Well,
hey, listen.
Hey, here's to not having a fucking, well, I have some type of infection, but it is what it is. Thank you, Mr. X-Ray Tech. Appreciate the self-confidence.
They didn't write you a script like a training bra, not like that, right?
I'm a 48 double B. Yo, Rock.
What's up, dude?
Oh, we got a good one tonight, my friend. My next two guests are what you call, I'm going to call them a couple road dogs, bro. Touring up and down the country, internationally over the past 10 years, opening for such acts as Pop Evil, Saint Asonia, Shaman's Harvest, just to name a few, you know? Their songs comprise of emotional lyrics and catchy guitar riffs that have landed on Billboard's active rock chart. Welcome to Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast. Cody Criswell and Anthony Maddox from the band ARTIFAS. What's up, guys?
What's going on, fellows?
All right. Thanks for coming on, man. How are you guys?
Good.
Doing well. Glad to be here.
Good. Well, I'd like to start off by saying that we just missed you. You played in our hometown about a month ago. I think you played at a place called... we used to be called, it's Debonair Music Hall.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And you were on tour with City of the Week.
City of the Week, yeah.
Yeah. I knew you guys were coming on. I tried to get out to that show. We couldn't make it, but how was it, man?
It was good. If I recall correctly, that was actually a really good night. Good crowd. I remember that venue being pretty nice too. I think that was the first time that we played there, but it was a good night.
Cool. Yeah, that's a dope venue for us, bro. That's like a hometown place for us. Awesome. They actually renovated it, I believe, like after COVID, right, Rock? I think they did like some like a new sound, the stage, backstage.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Sound quality is really good there.
Yeah, that's a dope place to play. Lately in New Jersey, around us, venues are getting a little scarce, man.
That seems to be everywhere.
Yeah.
Where are you guys located?
We're out of West Tennessee, the Jackson area.
Nice.
So are you off tour now?
Yeah, we just got off about a week ago.
Yeah, I'm in my man cave, surrounded by my guitars and my Xbox things.
Very nice. Yeah, your man caves look better than ours. God, Rob.
No doubt.
I could use a cleaning, honestly. But
that's why we got the fucking green screen. You don't want to see what's behind me, bro. I used to have guitars. I used to have, basses and shit. Now I got my wife's office. But,
That's fun.
yeah, man, this is not a
Shared
lot of fun.
office.
Yeah. So, how was this tour? How long did this tour last for? How was it? Talk to us about it.
It was good. The tour lasted for, I guess, right around 3.5, 4 weeks. I think we left, what was that, the beginning of October, I guess, or September 23rd, I think it was the first show.
Yeah.
And the last show was September 28th. So right at a month.
October 28th.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry. Yeah. No, October 28th. And it was good. We went out with City of the Week. It's our second time touring with those guys. Killer band. Those guys, just really cool. And the crowds are good. The venues, were good. A lot of good people, a lot of good faces out there on the road, and just a lot of good music got made, really.
Awesome.
So tell us, I'm always interested because, touring sounds awesome. People, I tour, you get to see everything, right? But like your 24-hour day, you're on stage for an hour. What do you do to occupy yourself for the other time? After like sound check and all that stuff.
Well,
how do you stay focused?
I would preface this answer because I'm sure there are multiple ways to answer this question, but I would say that the thing about I guess doing what we do is there is a lot of downtime, but because of the way that things work and there's so many people on the bus and so many things to do every day, you kind of find yourself with not enough time in most cases.
Oh, wow.
Really?
It's really just the travel days that I find the most difficult to deal with, but that's just because you're sitting on a bus or, in a hotel or wherever you might be.
Yeah, a lot of people say, right? No, go ahead, man.
No, go ahead.
Now, a lot of musicians say that we interview. It's not the time on stage. It's 45 minutes. It's an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
It's the 23 hours. It's the 22 hours.
Of, people on their phones. Sometimes we throw the football. It really just depends.
I've probably tried out every mobile game there is on the App Store. Just laying in my box, seeing what works.
Uh-huh. Oh God. Yeah.
So who's on your bus? Who's on it besides the band?
We've got a couple crew members that go with us. It's kind of varied over the years, but right now there's the 5 band members, and then we also travel with our front of house guy and our tour manager, Teresa, and Chris. That's their names.
Huh. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Like how to because depending on obviously, some bands that have like 5 buses, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how you guys roll, but like who comes on tour? Is it like, some of your boys? Are you paying them? Are they guitar techs? Are they, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, they, first of all, it's always friends because the only people that are crazy enough to do what we do are people that care about us and just want to take a piece of the pie, but, I don't know. I mean, we pay them a little bit. We don't pay them anywhere near as much what they're worth,
Oh, God.
We definitely get the friend hookup, I guess. But it's kind of a little bit of give and take. Everybody comes out and has a good time, but everybody also works hard.
Yeah.
So after the show, obviously, you probably stay around, check out your boys, the headline, whatever it is. Is it like, okay, hit the bus? Let's say your show is the next day. Like you guys are driving straight through to wherever you're going.
Some nights.
Yeah, it just depends. Really, it just depends on routing. We'll hang around most nights, until at least the show's over because it's good show etiquette, and I guess that's where the party's at. But yeah, if we got to drive, the night of a show, then we'll usually hang around till show's end, hop on the bus, and scoot down the road for a couple hours, kind of get closer to our destination.
Now the guys in the band, are you guys like drinkers, partiers? Tell us all your dark secrets. But if you are, my question would be, okay, so you're on tour. It's like a fucking month-long party. If you, how do you like? I know how Archie and I would be. we've gone on some like mini things, and it gets crazy fast. So I can't imagine left to your own devices for a month how it would be.
It definitely has its moments. Like it definitely has its party moments where we get a little wild, but
We're older now.
Yeah.
When we were younger, you know,
it was trying to get at.
There was a lot more of that, you know, debauchery and, you know, Lord knows the things we probably did when we were younger. But now, you know, we still drink. I'm the biggest drinker in the band, I guess, now. The other guys will take part on occasion. Lots of 420 safeness.
Of course.
There you go.
Yeah. And I don't know. Other than that, you know, it's kind of like just a bunch of dads chilling on a bus together.
I don't know if I'd say dads.
I mean, we're not dads, but like we got dad vibes. You know, especially Steve. He's got some dad vibes.
Now, do you? Now, is there any writing going on the bus right now? Like, are we always writing? Are we always coming up with ideas with some downtime?
We don't really ride on the tour just because it's so logistically difficult for us to pull that off with all the things happening and, you know, the things that we've got to get done. But we are working on new music currently. That's, you know, part of the focus of this down period that we're going into here is the rest of the year we're going to be writing music and just kind of focusing on some behind the scenes stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah. Oh man.
Every band's different. I find that you know, we try things here and there, but the system we always somehow end up back to when it comes to creating music is just like everybody locking themselves in someone's house for weeks and just doing it.
Yeah.
Nice.
How's the process?
That's good. The old school way.
Yeah.
In some ways, yeah.
You do the cliche, rent the fucking haunted house.
Hey, I would if I felt like it would contribute to the vibe.
Rent a weird brothel.
I mean, honestly, that sounds like a good idea. We should, not the brothel part, but the haunted house part. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, man. Rent a haunted house and see what comes out. And then, you know, that's the vibe of the album.
I'm down with it.
So I want to talk a little bit about a little early on in the infantation of the band. You had some little problems, right? Was there a little theft going on? Like, meaning, like, did you guys?
Sounds like the last 10 years of my life.
Ah, Jesus.
Shit.
Yeah, the first. I'm assuming you're talking about the Hugo situation.
Yeah.
When Scotty and I formed the band in 2011, we had never even played a show. We were just starting to write music together. You know, we had a handful of songs that would years down the road end up on a record somewhere. But we went to Louisville, Kentucky, and basically moved into Hugo's house to do a record. Paid him a lot of money to the tune of like $16,000+. And wow. Over the course of the following 9 months, he basically snorted it up his nose in cocaine and didn't finish our record.
Oh God!
So yeah, that was it wasn't a very great start.
So we'll check that off the fuck up list.
Yeah, right. We're adding to the list.
That happens to you guys in the band's infancy. Are you? There had to have been in the back of your mind, like, you know what? Fuck this shit. It's not for us.
No, I don't really feel like that ever happened. There was a lot of anger, you know, towards him and I guess the situation. But if anything, it kind of just strengthened our resolve to go out and do some things outside of that endeavor.
Now, was this guy almost like a friend of yours, or was this who was the relation?
We met him, if I recall correctly. We met him because my parents at the time were doing like a t-shirt printing business, and Hugo's band Tantric was playing in town.
Oh,
so,
okay.
I was 18 at the time, and we just went out and got backstage and met the band, you know, started hanging out, and, you know, we met Hugo back there, and it was just really a business relationship. Obviously, when you live in somebody's house for 9 months, you know, there's a part of that where you kind of hang out and you're friends, but for the most part, I was just like, let's get my record done.
Tantric, you son of a bitch.
So now I know who you guys are talking about now.
Yeah. He ended up like leaving on tour towards the end of that like almost year-long period and just refused to come home because he knew that Scotty and I were there, and he was basically afraid to face us. So we eventually ended up packing our stuff up and moving out of there and, you know, going and planting our roots somewhere else. But it was a show.
For $16,000, I possibly would have lit his mother on fire.
Yeah, well, we did our fair share of lighting things on fire. So,
and
it turned into a good song, so I'll take it.
I'd be like, break down, you motherfucker. Here we go.
So Hugo is the singer of Tantric, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this. What recourse did you guys have? Like, hey, we gave this guy money. Like, did you sue him? Did you like just say
we didn't really
cut
have
your
anything?
Losses?
We were,
wow.
I mean, at this point, I was like 18, maybe 19 at the time. And, we were just a bunch of country dudes trying to figure out how to play rock and roll music for a living. So, I mean, we were so broke at that time that, because we didn't have jobs, we were trying to make music and do all this other stuff that we were literally eating like one peanut butter sandwich a piece a day at that time, like just to make it, So I guess the gravity of the entire situation never really settled in until years after. Now, if I knew what I know now, I definitely probably would have sued the shit out of it. But
see, Rock, this is why we never fucking made it, because the fat Italian guys that we are.
Yeah.
One peanut butter.
Yeah, I can't do that. Come on. But first off, Arch, us at 18 years old having access to $16,000. Come on. That would never fucking happen.
Well, it wasn't all just of our money. It was, family money, our family and friends.
Gotcha.
And we'd sold some guitars and stuff. Scotty had like a nice one-of-a-kind custom-made guitar that he had, and he sold that thing off. It was pretty painful.
All right, so that happens. You jump ahead.
Hey, hold on, baby. Before we go past this, I want to know. Did you talk to him? Did he say like, "Hey, I fucked up"?
No, I mean he wouldn't come home. He like stayed, away from home until he knew it was safe to return. And we haven't seen him since. That's been 10 years ago. We kind of have like brushes, with him, where we tell people he's going to play the venue the night before or after us. So we call our friends and tell them to kind of mess with him a little bit and tell them that we said hi. But that's really it.
Not these two fucking guys. Podcasts are coming after Cantrick, bro.
I just want to play a show with them. That's all.
Me and Rocco want 10%. We'll get your Scott back. All right.
Hey, if you could get it back, I'd give you 10%, bro.
So, all right. So that shit happens, bro. I'm sorry to hear that. But what are we looking at next? You jump into like what is it like 2013?
That's probably about 12, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
like mid-summer of 2012, we probably started going on the road just independently with the lineup that we had in place. Then Anthony and Mikey and Jared would have all joined the band approximately a year later, 2013, 2014.
14, yeah.
All right, so Anthony, you've been in the band quite a while right now, man.
Yeah, 8 years.
So now you guys you did it independently.
Mm.
Now, who are you guys just setting up fucking on the map? Like you're setting up gigs?
Yeah, I mean, we still do that, honestly. We dabble with booking agents here or there, but for the vast majority of our career, we've done, at least part of the booking. And a lot of the times it's just that, it's cold calling, it's emailing, it's, we have a network because we've been doing it for so long. So certain areas of the country, it's a little easier. I can pick up the phone and call so-and-so or, shoot a text message over, but that's pretty much what it is. We do it independent. We call people. We just try to build relationships and, hope that they'll let us play.
And even you're signed, right now?
We've been signed a couple times in the past, but we're actually on the way to becoming independent. We are on the way out of our distribution deal previously. Okay. So fulfilled our obligations there and looking for whatever the next move is.
All right. So yeah, bro.
I'm sorry to cut you off. So tell me what's like the good and the bad of being signed on one hand, having a distribution deal, or independently doing it yourself. What's the pros and cons?
I think in today's world, the term being signed has kind of lost some of its shimmer anyways, because, there's tons of indie labels out there, and not everybody that, not every label that you sign with is going to be a Universal Records or, an Island Def Jam or whatever. But, I mean, there's pros and cons to both. Obviously the pros to signing with a big label would be marketing, connections, opportunity, possibly money. But, the pros, I would say, to, being independent is the amount of control you have. And I don't know, it feels like since we put more emphasis on trying to do things our way, we're a lot happier with the result. So
shit gets done.
Yeah, that too.
There you go.
Now, is it more of like being independent, I'm curious, like merch sales are more, towards you guys, the percentage is more towards...
I'm sure that term encompasses a lot of different, types of agreements or business relationships, but in our sense, it's, we're just in control of most everything, and we, get to decide where it goes. We've got investors and, people that we work alongside with to make these things happen that we have to adhere to a little bit, but for the most part, we get to do what we want.
That's good. And you're in control of your destiny. That's good. That's the way to go. I'm in control of my destiny. My wife is in control of my destiny.
I was going to say, let's be honest.
Yeah, let's be honest here. All right. So now we get to Inhuman, right? We're doing a This Is Your Life ARTIFAS.
I guess that's about right.
Do we have anything in between as far as...
Not since... No, we released our EP, then the new guys joined. Yeah, so Inhuman probably would have been, I guess, the next big milestone there.
All right, so here's a cool question now. Anthony, you joined the band. How much input are you allowed, or is it like, hey, man, you're coming on, like, I want to hear your ideas, or is it, are you, Cody or Scotty, are you guys like sole writers, and how's the writing process work when you join the band?
I mean, I had been in the band for probably about 8 months before we went to the studio. And I had already known Scotty and Cody for a long time.
Okay.
So we already had that connection. We had played in different bands together, done shows together. But when it comes to writing, it's really just like Cody said, we just pretty much just log ourselves in a room and somebody will come up with a riff and we'll build on it, or we all put our input in pretty much everywhere into the recording process.
I think our rule is, whatever's best for the song, really, in regards to whatever the vision is we have for it. Like, we'll never turn down an idea or tell somebody they can't work on something. The best idea is going to be the one that sticks. So, all five of us get in a room and pick up our instruments or do whatever it is, that maybe we need to do to inspire us, and whatever good ideas pop out, those are the ones that end up in the song.
Yeah, I think I'm with you guys. I believe there's no substitute for that. And I think, since COVID and, the electronic age where now, all right, you send a riff and you send this back and I'll put vocals to it. I guess it's a good alternative, but there's nothing like that vibe in the room and, working, playing off each other almost.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's where you come up with the best ideas.
Excuse me, say that again?
No doubt.
That's where you come up with the best ideas.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
The process has kind of changed over the years, because of technology and I guess our capabilities. But during the Inhuman days, like half of that record was written in the studio and half of it was written at another space, but it was all pretty much written with live instruments in a room, us just playing it and being like, I don't like that, whatever.
Yeah.
And then with, COVID and Scotty and I being able to take on production since then, the new process for the last record, kind of shifted a little bit and was very studio oriented, very like tracking things down and experimenting. So I'm not 100% sure, but I do expect that the process will mold and become a combination of the two.
That's cool.
So now when I would like send Archie a vocal line or something like that, back in the day in the studio, he'd say, yeah, it's good. We're going to put that on the back burner. Now he just doesn't answer my fucking email or anything when I send him something that he doesn't want to do.
Gave these fools microphones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Two kids fucking, listen, there's musicians out there, obviously, that have families and they go on tour and they're supported or however they got to do it, right? They do it for rock and roll. And then some stay the fuck home.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, man. I mean, we'll cyber jam, as our guitar player calls it, right? We'll
cyber jam.
Yeah, man. Yo, send me a riff. All right. I'll build on it. I'll send it back. Tag, you're it. Yeah. plug in some some drums, and like, yo, sounds dope. But yeah, it's a different world, man. It's a different world right now. So, Off Inhuman, I want to talk a little bit about. So, I think one of the songs that made a big stink was "Blood for Blood."
Sure, yeah, that was one of them. And it was, I think that song got picked up the World Championship of Fighting, something like that, MMA fighting.
Yeah.
They picked it up for a little bit. It actually made it into a DVD with I think Ronda Rousey and some other MMA UFC type folks.
That's dope.
Fight Valley.
Oh, he's got it right there. Yeah. And to make it even better, like they didn't just put it in there, like the like main Rocky fight montage. It's like a whole minute and a half of our song, and I was
That's
just
awesome.
like, "Oh, this is super sick."
That's fantastic.
How would something like your song? Where's the tie? How did you get that in there, or who liked it and who picked it up?
I really don't have those answers for you. Just the way of the industry, I guess. We put it out there, for some people to hopefully grab onto and use for purposes like that, or maybe put in a movie or whatever. And for whatever reason, somebody dug it. They actually sent us some tickets to a fight here in Memphis, and we got to watch one of the fighters come out to it. It was pretty cool.
That's pretty dope.
That's great. That's great.
We're pretty big fight fans. We talk a lot about fighting on this podcast,
really?
And to hear, Rocky still fucking watches wrestling, and he, as he goes to bed and he plays the Hulk Hogan theme, but shit like that though, that could leave an impression. I mean, that's pretty cool, bro. Like it's on a DVD, so
yeah.
like it's there forever.
I need to like go on Amazon and like snag me a copy. I don't think I have one.
You ain't got a copy, man?
I don't know that I do. If I do, it's put up somewhere.
How the hell do you not have a friggin' copy of it? Come on.
I don't know. You'd be amazed at how hard it is to get your own band stuff.
So, what happened? Where did the road lead Artifast from Inhuman to Reflections? What happened in between?
We dropped the record in 2015 and did quite a bit of touring on it. I think Inhuman made it to like number 31 or 32 on the Billboard charts. It was the lead single off that record. So we kind of rode that for a while, a couple of years actually.
A lot of touring. There was like 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 years of just constant touring.
Damn.
And around that time, somewhere in that mix, COVID hit. So obviously the touring, ceased to exist. And that was about when we started to cultivate the record. We'd been working on it on and off in a couple of locations with a couple different people. We actually recorded a version of it that we ended up, trashing and not using because we weren't happy with it. So it was like, a couple of years of touring, and then we just literally went on hiatus, essentially working on business stuff, writing music for about, 2-3 years we spent working on that record because we just re-recorded it and rewrote it so many times and had to get it mixed and mastered. And at the time there were some labels and management, we were kind of talking with. So all of those things just indefinitely prolong your release timetable.
Yeah. I can't.
And then finally in August of 21, I think we dropped the first single from the record.
Okay. Well, I was sent a bunch of these songs, and man, I really like where Reflections went. Where you guys, I'm assuming it's kind of where you guys are now, but I'm sure you're writing some new stuff, so you're, it's a little bit in the past.
We're ready to start. And I don't know really what to expect, but I definitely would say that Reflections is probably the most accurate, capturing of what our vision is for the band thus far. So some bullet points like radio rock, emotional journey, deeper lyrics. This record, how proud are you guys of this record that when it came out? I mean, very.
Like, you're telling me that it pretty much represents the band right now.
Well, not only, was it, I guess, the first record that we've done as a band where literally it was just our opinions and our opinions only, essentially. But it was the first time that Scotty and I had, done a full production of a record at this scale, that was going to be released and pushed out to this many people. And I guess with this much pressure on it, really.
Yeah.
So it was a learning process, and we worked really hard for 2-3 years, just learning about recording and writing and performance and getting all these things kind of honed in good enough, to make a record.
Now,
and when it was finally done, I think we were all really proud of it.
When you say production, are you including even like you guys are sitting behind the computer, like Pro Tools?
I mean,
you're learning
I
shit?
use Pro Tools. Scotty uses Logic. Most of the stuff on that record recorded either in this room or at Scotty's room over at his house. So,
oh wow.
The vocals, we started here, and we actually flew to Canada, to Vancouver for a couple of weeks and redid all the vocals up there. But all the instruments and everything recorded in our home studios.
That's pretty cool. Because
Nice.
you would think that, because if you listen to the quality, it's great quality, and you would think that like, oh my god, they went to New York and they were at some studio.
Sure.
He's like,
I do have to throw a shout out. It was mixed and mastered by an actual professional, I guess you would say. Forrester Savell. He's a world-renowned mix and mastering engineer from Australia. Worked on a lot of our favorite bands' records like Carnival and 12 Foot Ninja and some artists like that. So we actually got into contact with him, and it worked out. So once the record was done and we had everything where we wanted, we just shipped it all out to across the pond over there and let him do his thing.
It's interesting about the mastering the whole thing about that. Like Rocco and I had I think two EPs mastered, right? And like, I don't know, maybe my ear sucks, and I'm like, listen, I'm like, okay, I could definitely tell, like everything's more like everything's just I can't the right word, everything's like punched up.
Yeah.
And then we got another EP back, and I was like, what the fuck did he do?
Yeah.
Did he just send me back the same shit? I don't get it.
No, the one was I was like, it actually sounds fucking worse now. How can that be?
I mean, it does happen. It does happen. The mixing game is it's one I don't choose to dabble in very often. Scotty is a pretty proficient mixer. Over the last couple of years, he's gotten pretty good at it. But I like to write and create, so I leave that to the people that know better.
Well,
so how long do you think you guys are going to start writing now?
Yeah.
Is it like, are you going to put out singles, EP, you writing a whole record, or you don't know maybe?
I don't think we know yet. I know that there's kind of some conflicted views within the band just because, preferences, and it's still an ongoing discussion, really. I know that I do know one thing. We will be releasing singles because that's just how you promote your material. But whether it'll be a part of, a larger body of work or not is still kind of yet to be seen. I will say I'm a fan of the albums. I think everybody to a certain extent likes the idea of putting a concept album or a group of songs together. Sure. I'm not really sure. It's still, I guess it just depends on how many songs we write and how we feel about it.
So now, while you're writing, is it like, you guys have it mapped out? Okay, we're going to write now. Or is it, hey, we're going to write unless something cool, like a tour, cool shows pop up, then we'll shift gears? Or is it just like one track?
It's usually one track just because anything show related, usually you know about months in advance anyways.
Sure.
So it makes it a little bit easier. But we kind of, because we live, apart and not too far apart, but like an hour or so, give or take, from each other. It is kind of difficult to find the time to come together and do those things that you can't necessarily do when you're in person. So for that reason, it is kind of like, we're going to get together on this day and we're going to write. We're going to, work on some stuff here.
Mm-hmm. So I know this is like a weird question as far as like to categorize yourself, right? But like some dude that doesn't even know you, never heard of your band, what do you guys sound like? Now I have my opinion, and it's I'm actually a little stumped because there's some, I guess Scotty sounds like somebody, and I can't put my finger on it. But who do I hear? I hear The Used. I hear Funeral for a Friend. I don't know if we know them. I even hear music wise, like older 3 Days Grace. music wise.
Okay.
But there's a dynamic with your
They
singer.
only sold a couple of records.
A little bit. They did all right. Who do you think? Well, what would you say? Hey, man, who do you guys sound like? What do you got? Rock band? What do you think?
That's always hard when you're asking like the band. Like
I know.
I don't really know. Like,
I am always curious as what like other people like think we sound like. Like when you said I sounded like older 3 Days Grace. I don't think we heard that one yet.
I think music wise, I just hear riffs, certain guitar riffs I hear. It's definitely not your singer, but it's not him. But
I always think that Scotty sounds like Chester Bennington. Obviously, there'll only ever be one Chester, but I've always compared him to Chester in some way. They have a similar quality.
Yeah, I definitely see that for sure.
Let me just tell you, side note, okay? I saw Linkin Park when they were playing like small clubs coming up. I saw Chester front Stone Temple Pilots. What a fucking car wreck.
I saw videos.
Oh, dude.
I didn't support that decision, and I'm one of the biggest Chester fans. Like me and Anthony both are huge Chester fans. He's probably bigger than I am because he knows like all Chester's non-Linkin Park stuff. But
okay. And phenomenal. I love Chester. I love Linkin Park. I love everything, you know. But I was there. It was like some festival they played in New Jersey, and I actually opened up the festival on some side stage, whatever. But I stayed the whole day, and I'm like, you got to see Chester. Like, how are you not going to see with Stone Temple Pilots? And I was just like,
I didn't see him with Chester, but I did see them.
I looked at
right after he left.
I think, dude, and plus I was there, you know, I was there probably like 10 hours, and I looked at my girlfriend, my wife, and I looked at her, I was like, get the fuck out of here. You gotta go.
It didn't seem like a natural fit to begin with. Like when I first heard that he was going to be singing for them, I'm like, all right, that's I want to hear it how it sounds. I mean,
yeah,
because he's a sick vocalist, but I just didn't see those two styles meshing. But you know, weirder shit's happened.
I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I absolutely love their last album. One Light or one the slow one.
Yeah.
I know they got so much shit for that.
I hated it at first because I was one of those people. Like I'm a traditionalist.
Yeah.
Like when I latch onto a band, you know, for a certain sound, I don't really like when they change their sound.
Gotcha.
So for that reason, I was kind of estranged with a lot of their records throughout the years. But I will admit, after he passed, especially, I went back and listened to the record a lot, and it made its way onto my phone because I learned to like it a lot. And even though it wasn't the Linkin Park that I wanted, it was still a pretty good record.
Actually, after he passed, and I went back, I listened to the album, I was like, did anybody see any signs?
I mean, the whole record is nothing but.
The whole record.
Right? Maybe that's part of why I liked it so much. Because it was kind of like the message that got sent that we didn't see till too late.
Yeah. Oh, well. I'm sorry. One thing I did want to bring up. I love a lot of different types of music and different sounds and shit like that. And there was, to me, off Reflections, there was a song, you know, Leave Me for Dead. Awesome. Cool. I'd never seen you live yet. To me, that's almost like an opener. But
you called it right.
Oh, all right. They just
on the record and first at our live shows. So
it just sounds like that to me. Nice. That's a fucking opener. That's to me. But I really do dig Angels.
Yeah,
I like that. It's like a piano opening, like a soft opening. I
it's definitely one of the more like lyrically relatable ones on the record. I feel like probably not the most exciting or repeat listen worthy one on the record, but I've had a lot of people connect with that song and find meaning in it.
Yeah, no, I think, I mean, and from putting set lists together, you get in, you want to fucking make them move and make them want more. And, you kind of slow it down a little bit, see a couple people tail off to the bar.
It always happens.
It always happens, bro. Always happens.
Yeah.
But, I want to commend you on that song. I really dug that song off that album, man.
Thank you. That was a hard one for us to write. But I'm glad we did it because the meaning and the honor that it shows to those that we don't have here with us anymore is something I'll cherish forever.
Very cool.
Nice.
So, what? Now you said you were you're writing now. Artifast is now off tour, and you're writing, and we're gonna expect some new music. When do you think? If you want to drop a little something.
I don't like to do that because every time I do that, it never happens.
Right.
Just hopefully mid to early to mid next year. Sorry.
All right. Well, Cody, we're gonna have to hold you to that now.
Oh, I said maybe.
I'm gonna get Mr. fucking Tantric on the podcast. I'm gonna get some fucking money back, bro.
Well, if that's the case, I'm just gonna make it not happen on purpose. Because I could use that money and I could use that good talent.
Cody, Anthony, thank you guys so much, man. We really appreciate the time that you guys took out. Best of luck. Good luck with your writing. Where could everybody find you out there, bro?
Pretty much all social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. We don't really use Twitter all that much anymore. I don't think really anybody does.
All right.
But, just ARTIFAS and check us out.
Artifast.com.
Artifast.com. We got a merch store. We got everything on there.
Buy some merch. Support the band.
Please do. It's hard out here for a pimp.
They got That's it. They got to jack up their man cave. Everybody, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Artifast, check them out. Reflections is out, their 2021 release, and support the band. Thank you guys very much, bro. Good luck.
Thanks, you guys.
Thanks, fellas. Appreciate it.
Have a great one, man. Peace.
If you just heard us talking to Artifast, all I know is when they see Hugo, they're going to kick his ass. Because you just listened to Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast.
Yeah.
Archie got some nice titties.